Who is it that you want to become? Maybe it's a doctor, maybe it's a lawyer, maybe it's somebody that wants to work in the medical field. But whatever the case may be, it all starts with about making a plan, setting goals, and sticking to it. You're probably sitting there wondering how you're going to do for these 4 to 5 years as a college student at UHD. But I'm here to tell you that it all starts with you making a plan and setting goals. And that's what we're going to be talking about: goal setting and making sure that you're achieving everything that you want to set out to do. This is going to be the module about goal setting, establishing, and maintaining slash resetting your goals. As a college student, there's probably many things that you want to do in your collegiate career. Maybe you want to join an organization, maybe you want to have a great internship, and maybe in 4 to 5 years you do want to obtain that degree. But whatever your goals are, there are things that you want to achieve while you're a student here. And one of the best ways for you to do that is to set goals and make necessary steps to achieve them. I know when I was in undergrad, I was involved in many organizations and involved in my academics. But in order for me to be successful, I had to write things down and make necessary goals and make steps to achieve them. And that's what I want to tell you today, is to try to go ahead, write those goals down, and make the necessary steps for you to achieve your goal. First and foremost, you have to set goals that motivate you. When you set goals for yourself, it is important that they motivate you. This means making sure that they are important to you and that there's value in achieving them. If you have little interest in the outcome, or they are irrelevant given the larger picture, then chances of you putting in the work to make them happen are very slim. Motivation is the key to achieving goals. Set goals that relate to high priorities in your life. Without this type of focus, you can end up with far too many goals, leaving you too little time to devote to each one. Goal achievement requires commitment, so to maximize the likelihood of success, you need to feel a sense of urgency and have an "I must do this" attitude. When you don't have this, you risk putting off what you need to do to make the goal a reality. This in turn leaves you feeling disappointed and frustrated with yourself, both of which are demotivating. And you can end up in a very destructive "I can't do anything" or "be successful at anything" frame of mind. One tip is to make sure your goal is motivating. Write down why it's valuable and it's important to you. Ask yourself, if I want to share my goal with others, what should I tell them to convince them it's worthwhile? You can use this motivating value statement to help you if you start to doubt yourself or lose confidence in your ability to actually make that goal happen. So we have all these different plans and different goals and things we want to achieve at the university. But in order for us to establish those things and make those goals, we have to define exactly what a goal is. A goal can be defined as a desired accomplishment, position, or acquisition for which you choose to strive. In order to reach our goals, we must first establish them or develop them. Then we need to maintain them, keep them going. And finally, after we see them through, we must reset them, reevaluate them, and make more. While we're making these different types of goals, we have to understand that there are big wins and there's larger wins. There's stuff that we can achieve right now and things we can accomplish down the road. You know, there's different types of goals. There's short-term and long-term goals. Maybe a short-term goal is for you to turn in an assignment on time and then get a nice grade on it. Maybe a long-term goal is for you to get a nice internship or a great job or join an organization your junior year. Whatever your goals are, there are different types of goals. So what exactly are they? Different types of goals. There are short-term versus long-term. Short-term are goals that you set for things you want to accomplish within a short time frame. For instance, getting good grades this semester, or making A on a research paper, or checking everything off on a weekly to-do list. Long-term goals are goals that you set for things you want to accomplish in the long run. For instance, making a 4.0 GPA, graduating with honors, and getting that dream job, buying your dream car, or traveling around the world. There are many different methods and ways that you can achieve your goals, but one of the biggest things that I could recommend is the SMART approach: specific, measurable, action, realistic, and timely. Let's talk about what the SMART approach is. One of the most essential tasks for college students is proper goal setting. It is a process that needs to be done purposefully and have an end result. In order to make this happen, you have to set goals in a meaningful manner. One way to do this is the SMART approach: specific, clear, and direct; measurable, objectives to identify with an end result; action, plans to put them in motion; realistic, they need to be obtainable; and timely, set deadlines and meet them. Let's unpack this, right? We want you to have nice goals. smart ones at that. But what we don't want you to do is just to make goals throughout the semester, goal after goal after goal, until you have a to-do list of nothing but goals and nothing that you accomplish. We want you to go ahead and make a goal and have a plan of action to achieve that goal. Have a nice timetable and give yourself some time on how you're gonna to make the steps to achieve that goal, and to also make sure that your goals are attainable. Don't put a goal or make a goal that's completely unobtainable. That wouldn't be smart. That would actually be, let's just stick with the SMART method. Make goals that are obtainable, that are measurable, and something that you can attack in a nice amount of time. So one goal I have for today that I want to achieve in a nice amount of time is to go to Chick-fil-A. I want an 8 count with waffle fries and a nice drink. That's a goal that I want to accomplish for today. I'm gonna go to Chick-fil-A, I'm gonna go buy it, I'm gonna get it today, I'm gonna bring it back here, and I'm gonna eat it. Those are all types of goals and a nice timetable for me to accomplish it today. So I want you to kind of understand and try to brainstorm some ideas on how you're gonna accomplish your goals. How to set your asking yourself the following questions. What is it that I want to achieve? What kind of career do I want to achieve and why? What are the steps I would need in order to do this? And what are some obstacles that may arise and how will I solve them? So, how to set your goals continue. We want you to start writing down some goals or making a list on how you're going to achieve your goal. Right now it's TED Talk time, and right now I have a video that I want to share with you about dreaming, goal setting, and how something can kind of works for an individual. It comes from a young lady who's achieved so many different things, who happens to be 30 under 30 for Forbes magazine, and who has been able to achieve many different things based off of her dreams. And I want you to watch this video because it talks about dreams and goal setting and thinking outside the box. So enjoy this TED Talk video.
But I've been to a few speeches in the past couple of years, and some of the things that they've said have really inspired me. So there are some caveats to dreaming, and a few rules that go along with it. For example, you can't just wake up one day and say, okay, my new goal is to become a billionaire. As self-made billionaire John D. Rockefeller said, if your only goal in life is to become a billionaire, then you'll never achieve it. And Jason Silva also has a very dream-worthy approach to life. I was at one of his speeches and he said something that really stuck with me. He said, to be a billionaire is not to make billions of dollars, but to affect the lives of billions of people. And the most important thing to me, something that Michael Dell says, because it's happened to me a lot and it kind of justifies my actions. He says that if people are not laughing at your goals, then they're not big enough to ever evolve into a dream. I'm going to say that again. It's so important to me. If people are not laughing at your goals, they're not big enough to ever evolve into a dream. And if you don't take anything else away from my talk, I want you to remember that. So the last rule to dreaming, and I've already said it, avoid setting SMART goals at all costs. Otherwise, you might wake up 10 years from now and you might say, where are the rest of my buns? Or similarly, why did I settle for making 4 hot dogs when I could have made an infinite amount of hot dogs? Oh, I'll tell you a story about someone who set SMART goals. Me. Sophomore year of high school, I was going to be the first person in my immediate family to attend a 4-year university. So I started preparing pretty early. Early sophomore year, I went to my family. I think it was over dinner, I don't remember. And I said, guys, I have my plan. I am going to attend Texas A&M University to study petroleum engineering, and then I'm going to go on and become a drilling engineer at Chevron, and I'm going to climb up the corporate ladder just like Chevron's CEO did. And I lived in New Orleans, and so the oil industry is very big there, so that's why that was my specific goal. But here's where I went wrong. I went to my family and I said that, and they didn't laugh. Instead, my mom said, okay, great, let's plan a road trip. Let's go to Texas A&M. And that burgundy tank top isn't a coincidence. And I loved it. But that's where I went wrong. I fell into the trap of security. I loved the idea of knowing where I would be in 4 years. My goal was, it was so smart. It was specific, it was measurable. I had even met with an advisor from Texas A&M to figure out how I could get into their honors program by the time I was a sophomore. Not in high school, in college. I was planning ahead to be a sophomore in college. So that's where I went wrong. Fast forward to the end of sophomore year, and I got an idea. I was watching the news. It wasn't this specific one. I just really like Bill Nye. I was watching the news, and the news anchor was discussing the BP oil spill and the aftermaths. Specifically, they were talking about their cleanup efforts. And I don't know why my 16-year-old mind drifted towards the idea that they're not getting everything. I didn't even know what I meant by that. I didn't know where my thought process was taking me. I didn't know what everything was. But this is the image that popped into my head. So we've got UV rays coming out of the sun, coming from the sun, and they're hitting this layer of oil, and that oil's on top of the seawater. And I remembered learning something. It's a very basic chemistry concept called a photoproduct, a product of something reacting with light. Something has to be forming, and it's going into the ocean, but what is it? So I thought, okay, well, obviously, like, my 16-year-old brain, like, can't really conceptualize this, but I'm sure someone's got it handled, right? So I Googled it. I typed in BP oil spill photochemicals toxic. And first of all, it didn't even pick up on photochemicals. It said, did you mean phytochemicals? No, that's something completely different. Thank you. And then if you notice here, the word missing in all of the results, the word photochemicals. I thought, okay, this is not a new word. I mean, they taught us about photochemicals in like middle school science, so why isn't it popping up? There's obviously a reaction happening between the sun and the oil. What's going on? So I said, all right, maybe I'm just missing something. Maybe I'm really not in the twilight zone. I'm just gonna verify. So I cold emailed about 30 professors, and my emails went something like, hi, I'm Kiana Kave. I'm 16. I'm a sophomore in high school. I was wondering, do you guys know anything about the photochemicals that happened after the oil spill? 28 of them responded a little something like this. I wasn't laughing, I was pretty sad. But two out of the 30, they took me under their wing. And I actually ended up working under one of them for so long that not only did I become acquainted with lab technique, how to explore a hypothesis if I have one, I ended up publishing my first paper. This was about 1.5 years after this cold email incident. And this was the title of my paper: A Method for Identifying the Photoproducts. The rest doesn't matter. Keyword, photoproducts. Thank you very much. This is what I found in the research. The picture that popped into my head that one day that I was watching the news, I filled in the blanks. And that's what I found in the paper. People laughed. But that was the first time that I realized that maybe it's a good thing to have people laughing, because if your idea is so crazy and so far out of this world, maybe it'll revolutionize an industry. Maybe it'll change the way that people conduct research in a specific field. Maybe you could introduce a new vocabulary word, photo products, to the world of oil spills. And my mind really opened up after that. I started coming home and saying things like, "Hey, Mom, today I'm going to learn how to fly a plane." She almost had a heart attack that day. Or, "Hey, Mom, today I think I'm going to cross a log with alligators beneath me in the middle of the Panamanian rainforest." Yay. And every time I would tell my mom things like this, I got a reaction something like this. I'm sorry for using this photo, Mom. I have to see her after this, so. And then the calls started to get a little bit more intense. "Hey, Mom, NASA just named a planet after me to honor me for my research findings." Or, "Thank you. Hey, Mom, I made it in Forbes." All of this crazy stuff. And one day, I called my mom, and I was really serious. It wasn't like I was trying to make her laugh kind of thing, because after a while I really did. I thought, okay, well, whatever makes my mom laugh, it must be a good idea. But I called her and I was so serious, and I said, "Mom, I'm going to invent or develop this molecule, and it targets these toxins, these photochemicals that I found in my research, those toxins that cause cancer. I'm going to take them and invent a molecule that turns them into water. And it's going to affect the lives of millions, if not billions of people, Mom." And then one day, I called my mom and I said, "Hey, Ma, I did it." And all of this, it just makes me reflect on the time when I wanted to just go to college. I just wanted to graduate. I just wanted to go work for Chevron. And now I'm working with Chevron. And it just reminds me that had I stayed so closed-minded about that one goal, to attend that one university and go do that one job for the rest of my life, had I stayed closed-minded and not said yes to the research opportunities or said yes to anything else because it didn't align with my goal, then I would be there. Yeah, I would probably graduate from Texas A&M and do the thing I had planned to, but I'm a lot happier where I am now. So I have one piece of advice for you guys, and that is to eliminate yourselves from a reaction containing a limiting reagent. Well, technically all reactions do, but make an infinite amount of hot dogs. Don't settle for 4. Thank you.
You've made so many strides and made so many necessary steps to achieve your goals, and now you'll start to see what the benefits of goal setting are. The benefits of goal setting will significantly impact your success as a college student that will carry on for the rest of your life. It will strengthen critical thinking, decision making, and organizational skills. It'll keep you accountable by developing planning and executing skills. It'll help you to set priorities and keep you focused and motivated. It will also give you a sense of accomplishment and help you cope with obstacles, difficulties, and disappointments, and so much more. Whew. I achieved my goal for today, and you can too. Whether it's short term or long term, the steps to be a successful college student begins with setting a goal, making a plan, and sticking to it. Remember, use the SMART approach to achieve your goal. If at any point in time you need help with strategies and tips on how you can goal set, please contact us at the Gator Success Center. This has been the module for goal setting, maintaining, establishing, and resetting your goals. I'm Jason Holliday, the Associate Director of the Gator Success Center, and I can't wait for you to set your goals. Have a good one.